How many repeating problems do you have in your business that causes you frustration? Hello, my name is Gordon D'Silva, and I'm an international best-selling author of Profit Propeller. I am a multi-award winning chartered accountant, and I am the inventor of the Profit Multiplier program, which works with clients to help them grow their businesses, their profits, and their cash flow. And what I'd like to talk to you about today is give you the ideas that came out of a board meeting I had recently. And this one was a problem that a client presented me with that suggested that they were having frustration with their customers, their clients, that just seemed to continue. And what surprised me is that they'd been having this problem for 5, 6, 7 years, maybe longer, and they had not done anything about it. Now, one of the things that I am really good at, and I've got lots of weaknesses, but one of the things I'm really good at is fixing problems so they stay fixed. And that's one of the powerful things I bring to businesses in the Profit Multiplier program we run, is identifying problems that they are experiencing and solving them. And one of the ideas that came up was this constant frustration that this client was having. And I'd asked them, what do they do about it? And they said, well, what can we do about it? And that, again, therein is the powerful question, because it occurred to me at that point that they probably hadn't asked themselves the question. Or if they had asked the question, in their mind's eye, they believed that there wasn't a solution. And so that was the opportunity, I think, available to many businesses around the country, around the world. Because when I visited some businesses in Australia and New Zealand recently, I found I thought I was going to find something completely different, because they have a different mentality, they have a different approach, they have a different psychology. Yet this problem was very similar to the businesses we have in the UK, and similar in businesses in the US. When I visited the US and businesses there, same principle, right? Same problem. They have this. If you don't have, you can't really challenge or change the thinking using the thinking that lets the problem exist. Let me explain a bit more. If you have had a frustration or a problem that lasts a while, and I'm just going to pull in here, so I'll just carry on. If you were presented with a problem and it came out of the blue, and you didn't like the problem, you would fix it. And if you fixed it, that would be the end of that, right? But if a problem creeps up on you, and gradually you just begin to accept it as the way it is, then my proposition to you is that the thinking that allows it to exist for time, and it may be 3 months, 6 months, a year or more, the longer it's allowed to exist, the more stuck in your thinking the root lies, in that it's really difficult to then come up with a different solution, because now your thinking has established that this is part of the world, this is the way the world is, a bit like night follows day and day follows night. You begin to accept it as part of business's rich pageant, and it has to be put up with. I come from it from a very different angle. One of my strengths has always been to identify and root out problems, leverage my time. I am a master at leveraging, and I help clients with leveraging their time because it is the only way that we have of increasing our productivity, because we all have 24 hours in a day. Richard Branson doesn't have any different 24 hours than you or I, yet he achieves a whole lot because he leverages his time through his team, through his methodologies, through his thinking. And people will go, well, he doesn't have the problems I do. No, you're right, he doesn't have the problems you do. He has much bigger problems than you do, or I do. And the more successful you are, the bigger the problems. And it just comes with the territory. You still have to have the mental approach to deal with it. And so what we did with this client, coming back to this board meeting, case study I was telling you about, is we identified the problem, and it's a problem I had solved, 7 years ago. It wasn't a problem in my business any longer. It was at the time 7 years ago, but I fixed it. I didn't allow it to happen, primarily because I was explaining it to one of my mentors, and he said, what are you going to do about it? I went, all right, I've got to do something about it. Of course I do. And we went away, and I thought of a way. I sat down in my quiet time, which I put aside every week for my business, and we worked out a solution for it. And that solution has stuck and has worked really well ever since. It's a solution that comes out of automation and education. And so what we did with this client, we asked them what are they doing to educate their clients as to how they feel about the problem. And they said nothing. We give them a piece of paper at the beginning of the engagement, and clearly the clients just ignore it, don't read it, don't even see it. And I said, well, do you think, is that working for you? Tongue in cheek. Of course it wasn't working for them. So I said, what are you going to do about that? And they said, well, then, of course, light bulb, we've got to change how we educate the client. The second thing was the automation. And when we came to the automation, I explained how we do it, how we track these issues, and then we bring it to the client's attention. So, do you think this is good business that we wait this long to help you? And is it good for you? And do you think, if it is good for you, tell me how. And do you, in that way, it's clearly no good to us, because we're not doing what we could do with you, because we're waiting for all of this information. And very quickly, the penny dropped. So education and automation are two really big allies in the fight against time constraints, money constraints, frustration problems. And we live in an age now that technology allows us amazing scope for automation, and even technology allows us amazing scope for education. Let me explain a little bit about that. We have online meetings, and we share a screen. We use software that's available. There's several softwares out there that you could use. Some of them are free, some of them are paid for. We use the paid for one because it has certain characteristics that give it the quality we want. But you can get it for free, so don't let that stop you. Skype, for example, is completely free. You can have online meetings. And we educate clients without having to spend 2 hours, 3 hours travel time, parking costs, car costs, running costs. I bought this car about 8 months ago, 9 months ago, and I've hardly done any miles in it now, because I'm driving right now. I'm driving a lot of miles, but we spend so much time at base just having conversations with clients and prospects online, and they're so much more effective both for the client and for us, because they don't need the extra travel time and I don't need the extra travel time, and yet we get things done. We have face-to-face meetings if we need to, using laptop cameras. We certainly can share desktop space, because I just show them what's on my screen, which is what I would do in a meeting anyway. I would share my laptop screen in a meeting, or project it on a board. They have it directly on their laptop. They can see what I'm pointing at. I can make notes in front of them. I can draw pictures in front of them using my iPad. Technology allows all of that to happen. And automation using CRM systems make a whole load of automation possible. Now, we wrote our own software 10 years ago to automate some of the and eliminate the frustration points I was telling you about. But now there's so many other programs. You don't need to write your own software. You just need to plug in your principles into the software, and away it goes. So let me leave you with that. Examine your frustrations, and sometimes it's hard to solve a problem with the mentality that allows it to continue. So, and outside, when you have the right process to identify the problems in your business, these things just come out, and then they can be solved. As soon as they're identified, you and I can just quickly eliminate them. They just dissolve, and they cease to be problems anymore. They cease to be bigger problems anymore. So let me leave you with that thought. How are you putting up with problems in your business? How many frustrations or ongoing problems are recurring? Maybe it's because your team don't get things right, and that frustrates you, or maybe it's your clients or your prospects or your suppliers that frustrate you. We've eliminated a whole range of those, and certainly that's what we share in our Profit Multiplier program. So if you have if you have some frustrations that haven't been eliminated, and you just like a 10-minute chat with me, why not just click on the button? I think it's on your right there, on my left. Just click on the 10-minute quick chat button. We'll have a 10-minute chat. We'll identify if the issues that you have and our skills have a synergy. If there is, we'll have a slightly longer session to work out if it is right that we should work together. And if we do, fantastic. If we don't, we'll part as friends, and I'll probably give you some ideas on how you can take your business forward and improve what you do. No problem at all. So let me leave you with those. Write down what your frustrations are, and then go about looking to solve them, or give us a call, and we'll help you. In the program, whichever. But please do that. Don't stand for it. Just because it exists and has existed for a while doesn't mean it should continue to exist for any length of time. I look forward to speaking to you on another blog, or on our 10-minute call, or in person if you are already a client. Take care of yourself. Goodbye. Time, team, or money? Which is your greatest challenge? Or, like me, all three? Hi, my name is Gordon D'Silva, and I'm here in Chiang Mai in Thailand, right up north, and it is a beautiful, beautiful country. But enough of that. I want to talk to you today about pricing.